Hello. Good morning, TK, and today you're watching Family Feud. My name's Abby Walsh, and I'm your host. Today we have
Juanita.
from whose home group?
Phoebe's.
All right, so I'm going to ask you 5 questions. You're going to give me the best answer you can for each one. You're going to have 20 seconds on the clock to answer, and if you don't know the answer, you can say back to the end. You can say pass, so we'll come back to the end if we have time. I'm then going to bring in your partner and ask him the same 5 questions that I asked you, and you guys are going to try to get over 205 combined points, which will win you.
Donuts.
Yes, all right, so let's take a quick look at your partner outside. He doesn't know, does he? There we go. Okay. So the timer will begin after I finish reading you the first question. Are you ready?
I'm sweating.
But are you ready is the
Yes,
question.
yes.
Okay. So name something you'd like to have near you if you were in the hospital.
Phone.
Name something you would do before bed.
Pray.
Name something that dogs do that cats probably think is stupid.
Woof.
Name something specific that you always run out of when you're sick.
Medicine.
Name something you should never stick your finger in.
Toilet.
All right, so we're going to take a short break while we calculate your scores. All right, so hello and welcome back. Now we're going to go over your answers to see how they scored. So, for question number 1, name something you would like to have near you in the hospital. You said your phone, which got you 26 points.
I
All
can
right.
hear people like.
All right, so name something you would do before bed. You said cry. I think you didn't say cry,
I
but
said pray.
You said
Pray.
pray. Yeah, all right. So
Pray.
we'll just say what that says. Cry you do as a high schooler before bed.
Cry yourself to sleep.
No, when you're in high school, you'll do that. So pray, which gets you 28 points, because conveniently I have the points on here. Well, not me personally, it's them. For name something that dogs do, the cats probably think is stupid. You said bark, and that got you 24 points. All right. For name something you always run out of when you get sick, you said medicine, and that got you 27 points. And then for name a place you should never stick your finger, you said the toilet, which got you 5 points. All right. So we're going to swap partners now as we take a look at your home group outside. Okay, there we go. All right, so hello and welcome back. Now we have
Peter.
from, oh, yeah, we already know. Okay, so I'm going to ask the same 5 questions that I just asked your partner, and she got you 110 points. So if you don't know the answer, you can say pass. We'll come back to the end if you have time. You're going to have 25 seconds to answer, because if you give me an answer your partner already gave me, I'm going to have to ask you for another answer.
Okay.
Okay, the timer will begin after I finish reading you the first question. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, name something you'd like to have near you in the hospital.
Bed.
Name something you would do before bed.
Go on my phone.
Name something that dogs do that cats probably think is stupid.
Play fetch.
Name something you always run out of when you get sick.
Medicine.
Another answer.
Come back to.
Name something you should never stick your finger into.
The fire.
Name something you always run out of when you get sick.
Water.
Okay. Well, so time is now up and you finished answering, so we're going to take a short break while I calculate your scores.
I like to ride my skateboard. I like to go surfing on the weekends. I have like a nice long afternoon with no grading to do. I like to go for a long bike ride. active stuff, outside stuff, running around.
Right now, my hobbies are basically watching TV and reading books. When I'm a little less busy, I'll read more than I watch TV if I'm less busy. Right now, it's more when I get home to relax, I'll turn something on that I've been watching.
I love to hike with my husband. I used to play tennis, but I can't do it anymore. But love to hike, love to travel a lot, either locally or travel abroad.
It's hard when my students are bored. It's really sad because I don't want to be boring ever. It's hard to keep up. I think that'll come more naturally next year. I think it'll be easier to keep up with everything. My biggest fear is being boring. I think that's the hardest part.
Probably at this point, one of the hardest things is keeping track of everything that I have to do and making sure nothing falls through the cracks. Doing my best to make sure all of those pieces I do to the best of my ability.
I like you to learn the theory through hands-on. So lesson planning, correction of exams, I don't like it.
The funny thing that happens most consistently is people think I'm a student, like a lot. Like every time I go to a football game, the parents at the ticket booth will ask me, you know, like what grade I'm in. That's probably the most consistent.
The most recent one, we did a scene where they had to take a character type and then they created a scene with those character types. And one of the scenes, they took the character type of the hero and the villain and the sidekick. And the hero stacked our actor blocks up really, really tall, had red markers, and then he climbed up on top and he pretended like the red markers were laser eyes and threw them at the villain.
Not in class, but I'm going to tell you the funniest thing that the principal is still giving me a hard time about it. When the retreats for the 7th and 8th graders, I got confused about the 6th and 7th grader going into retreats. So I have a 6th grade class and then a 7th grade class. I thought that the 6th graders were on retreat, the 7th grader were on retreat, so I didn't show up to class. So when I showed up to class, I was wondering where my 7th graders were, and I asked, I said, oh, they're on retreat. So then I realized that means I missed my class. So I went to the principal and said, yes, we did have a substitute for you. So I was pretty embarrassed. Hopefully that will not happen again. And a day like today, I looked at my schedule more than 5 times today. Am I in the right time and in the right class? Because the schedule changed quite a bit.
Let's see, when I was in college, I worked at a restaurant for a long time. When I was living in Hawaii, before I worked at the school, I worked at a dive shop. I was into scuba diving.
Before teaching, I was a full-time student, but I did work at a bed and breakfast. And then before that, I was a publicity head for the theater department at my college.
I was an engineer for IBM.
Hello, welcome back. Now we're going to go over your answers and see how they did. So we're going to first put up your partner's answers so you can see those. All right. So now we're going to go over yours. So name something you'd like to have near you in the hospital. You said a bed, which got you 0 points. All right. Number one answer to that one was your phone, which your partner got. For name something you do before bed, you said go in your phone, which got you 8 points. All right. Your partner got the number one answer of pray. For name something that dogs do, the cats probably think is stupid. You said play fetch, which got you 15 points. All right. Number one answer to that one was bark or woof, which your partner got. For name something specific you always run out of when you get sick, you said
Water, which got me 0 points.
water. Yeah, I mean you have faucet. Oh, that changes.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
And then finally, for name something you should never stick your finger in, you said fire, and that got you 20 points. All right. Number one answer to that one was a light socket. So unfortunately, you have not won. But thank you so much for coming on, and thank you all so much for watching us. Please watch us again on Tuesday for your nightly news. Have a day, TK.